Hi, I'm Senator Malcolm Roberts and I'm in Mackay with Christine Keys, who's the One Nation candidate in next month's state election in the seat of Mackay. And Christine has been a principal and a teacher now for around 40 years and got a lot of experience. She's a grandmother and a mother. She's had to deal with all the issues that principals have to deal with in large schools, small schools, regional communities, city communities. So she's been through the mill and she's a fighter. And something that we need to know about. If you thought your kid is being taught how to think at school, you are wrong. In Queensland, kids are being taught what to think and they're emerging with anxiety and fears and they're completely confused because at a young age they're doing this. I'll let you describe your concerns.
Okay. Well, these are work booklets that were sent home to me from a 10-year-old child and an 8-year-old child. So we're looking at children who are being totally intimidated with information and concepts that they simply do not have the maturity to cope with. We can see that the anxiety levels in young children are rising. School should be a safe place. It should be a place where they are accepted, they are loved, and they are taught what they can cope with. However, in this program here, we can see some mixed messages being sent forth. We've got a photo of what is possibly a mother and daughter that's labelled as loving.
And the mother is hugging her daughter, or what perceives as a daughter, and that's labelled as loving.
And that's loving, and it is loving, it's healthy. But then we have a photo of what could be a father and son, and there's a big red no. So what message does that send?
So I wasn't supposed to hug my son.
No.
He's 27 now, just his birthday today, in fact. I love hugging him and he loves hugging me.
Exactly.
Because he and I do love each other as father and son.
Now, as adults, if these are giving us mixed messages, what are they doing to our children who are still supposed to be very innocent? And here we have, thank you Malcolm, a picture of a man and a woman hugging, which is affectionate, loving, but the label on this is sexy. So what does that mean, Malcolm?
I don't know. And if I don't know, what the hell is an 8-year-old going to think?
Oh, I don't know. I know they came home confused, and I know that the parents were extremely upset at the content these children are given without their consent and without their knowledge. So we have...
And look at this. The title is, I have the right to be safe. These kids must be feeling unsafe in all the confusion.
Yes, and they are.
So that's what the state government in this state is doing. They're pushing brainwashing ideology to try and get control of kids rather than help kids.
And that's been my cry for a long time, that we must teach children how to think. We don't give them what to think. Everyone is an individual, everyone's gifts need to be developed to develop their full potential. 10-year-olds being told that masturbating is very pleasant and how to do it, talking about periods and details there that we as adults, we don't discuss these, we don't discuss them, but these are being given to children in mixed classes, boys and girls in together by teachers, and the children are just not coping with this, and they should not have to cope with this.
And we need to be clear, we had this kind of education 40 years ago when I was growing up, but it was done boys with boys, girls as girls, not in mixed classes, and not putting pressure on, and not sending false messages.
No, and awareness of the body and awareness of the changes that are going to take place, that's all really important.
And
very
education
important.
About sex itself.
Absolutely.
Protecting girls and boys.
Yes, but giving children concepts way beyond their level of maturity is just damaging. It's destructive.
Yeah, it is damaging.
It's destructive, yes.
So what we need is some sense brought back to our education so that we teach people how to think, not what to think.
Absolutely.
And leave aside the brainwashing from the Labor machine, leave aside the ideology, the destruction of the family, and just get back to solid basics. Because one of the things that really staggered me was the family who gave you this material, they got it accidentally from their child.
I found it in his school bag.
And then when you wanted to talk about it, they said, for goodness sake, don't identify us. People are being intimidated as parents. That is not on.
No.
So that tells you something about the Labor machine. And then we've had teachers under pressure as well because they resent some of this stuff.
That's
they
right.
can see it's damaging.
Yes,
and we've
absolutely.
also had principals pushing ideology on teachers, pushing ideology on kids, pushing ideology on parents, and ruling the roost. And that's not what we're about. We're not about control. We're about giving people the opportunity to think and speak freely.
And children who suffer further intimidation if the parents dare to go up and say, I don't want my child a part of this. And the principal, I have known of a situation where the principal has then given the child a hard time. And it's not right. It's just simply not right.
That's not education. That's
No.
intimidation and control. We want to teach people how to be free.
Absolutely. We've got to save our children. We must save our children.
So on next month, get back to basics with One Nation.